of the summer. A life told through the seconds that decide everything. Zagreb 2026. Action without stunt doubles. European Artistic Gymnastics Championships.
Welcome everyone to the Arena Zagreb in Croatia and the 37th European Men's Artistic Gymnastics Championships. I'm sad to tell you it's the last day of competition here in Croatia, but I'm not too sad because we've got a lot coming up over the next little while. Are you ready? The crowd's being asked and they are replying in the affirmative because it's the junior all-around final taking place now. This is going to be super entertainment. Congratulations to all of the youngsters who've made it into this competition. To be in the top 24 applicable gymnasts in Europe is a huge achievement, and we're going to celebrate their work now as they come out onto the floor and get ready to embark upon the traditional 6 rotations. Let's see how they get on. We had some wonderful apparatus competitions yesterday, and I'm sure the standard will be maintained as we go into this all-around competition. So that is Noé Stripstein of Belgium, the 18-year-old who competes at the Junior World Championships. This is Timur Kartashov, the 14-year-old, featured in some of the apparatus competitions yesterday. Robert Ward, young man from Dublin who performed so well in the vault competition, almost made the podium. And this is David Alchanov of Germany, the all-around bronze medalist from the Junior National Championships last year. They'll start on the horizontal bar. So this is the top group of qualifiers. Daniel Smirnov, top performer in the preliminary round, team silver and horizontal bar bronze. Ben Schumacher of Switzerland, 4th best in qualification. He won bronze yesterday at the vaulting table. Tomasz Lahatz of Poland, the bronze medalist at the European Youth Olympic Festival on the pommel horse. Radmir Musayev, 16-year-old, who was the 2nd best in qualification. So that's the top group of qualifiers. They'll start on floor. Now the gymnasts will start on the pommel horse. Vladimir Golovan of Ukraine. These are the 2nd highest qualifiers. He's a brilliant gymnast, by the way. Took full colours yesterday. Pietro Mazzola, floor silver and team bronze. His teammates, who won the floor title and took silver on the rings, Riccardo Ruggeri.
Great Britain, Uzair Chowdhury.
What a competition for Uzair Chowdhury of Great Britain. Team and parallel bars gold for the 2nd consecutive championships. Now the gymnasts who were the 3rd highest in qualification. They'll start on the rings. George Atkins of Great Britain, a team gold medalist and parallel bars bronze medalist. Michael Buckley from the south of Switzerland, all-around silver medalist at the Junior National Championships earlier this year. Jaden Petten of the Netherlands, really good gymnast, 13th in qualification, 9-time Dutch junior champion. Jorge Carreras of Spain, the junior all-around champion of his country.
Starting on vault.
Now the gymnasts who are in the 4th highest group of qualifiers, they'll start on vaults. Valentin Havruchenko of Ukraine, the champion on vault. Nice place for him to start. Will be no surprise to see him right up at the top of the leaderboard after 1 rotation. Jeremy Bolaj of Hungary, medalist at the European Youth Olympic Festival. He'll also be very happy, this young lad, to start on vault. Samuel Wachter, the Austrian, won the silver medal yesterday. Axel András Akinduro of Hungary, gold medalist at the International Junior Team Cup in Berlin. And now to the fifth highest group of qualifiers. They'll start on the parallel bars. Tomed Tirosh, the Israeli all-around champion, joined by Maxime Rollin. He'll be pleased to start on parallel bars. He won gold at the Pharaohs Cup in Egypt last year. Christoph Gall of Hungary, all-around silver medalist at the International Budapest Junior Cup. And here is the joint horizontal bar champion from yesterday, Sami Yusuf Soliban of the Netherlands. There they are, your contenders. What a privilege to watch these young athletes ply their trade out there on the floor in this junior all-around competition. What a privilege to have your company wherever you're watching the action from. The setting is the Arena Zagreb, and we have the junior men's all-around final coming your way over the next couple of hours. We have 6 groups of 4, so a slight change to the more traditional format of all-around finals, where you have 4 groups of 6 gymnasts. This is a quicker format. We're going to start with the top qualifiers over on floor. They'll work in the Olympic order, as it's sometimes known, and Daniel Smirnov was the top performer in qualification. Over on the pommel horse, the peloton, if you will, the gymnasts who qualified from 5th through to 8th. And Vladimir Golovan will get them started. He won the pommel horse title yesterday, so he'll be in very good spirits to start there. At the vaulting table, it would be not even a remote shock to see Valentin Havrulchenko right up at the top of the leaderboard after one rotation, because he's starting where he won the European title yesterday. These are the gymnasts who'll start on the parallel bars. They are the athletes who were the 5th highest group of qualifiers. So they were ranked 20 through to 23 in the qualification process. Due to the 2 per country rule, it's not as simple as the top 24 being guaranteed a place in the all-around final. And the gymnasts that will start on the horizontal bar, the athletes who were positioned 24 through to 27 after qualification, made it into the top 24 due to the removal of some gymnasts who had a couple of teammates ahead of them. And these are the athletes who will start on the rings. They have the 3rd highest qualifiers. So, for example, there, the 10th and 11th place athletes were not ranked because they had 2 teammates above them. So 9 through to 14, quite a wide spread is represented in that group. Ollie Hockben here, and as ever, I am joined by Blythe Lawrence to talk you through all of the action. Blythe, the juniors set a really high standard in the team competition and in the apparatus finals yesterday. This is the last day of competition, quite a fatiguing championships for them, but they've got one big task left now.
They've had to do a lot of gymnastics, yes, indeed, through the qualification that doubled as the team final, and then through the apparatus finals yesterday. Sometimes at this level, we do see that fatigue becomes a factor on the final day of competition when everybody's adrenaline has dropped a little bit. So we're going to learn something about these qualifiers in this all-around final. A test of endurance awaits them, perhaps.
And that's a test of reality, isn't it? Because this is the nature of elite-level sport. Crueler thing though it may be to say, it is all very well being extremely skilled at an apparatus, being able to put together a wonderful all-around program, but what any young athlete has got to learn to do is to do that any time, any place, any month of the season, any day of the championships, whether they're competing at 10 o'clock in the morning, which is what we're just about to reach here in Zagreb, or whether they're competing at 10 o'clock at night. It's all about that ability to be consistent. So this is a big test for them, but they've earned the right to be tested in this way because they are the finest young gymnasts in Europe, and we're really excited to watch them. We're really excited to have you with us as well. Thank you so much for taking your time and your money and placing it in the hands of us for these championships, watching on Gym TV Online. great to have you with us. 2 o'clock local time today. We've got the senior team final as well. Let us begin the junior all-around final. Good luck to them all. It's Daniel Smirnov who's getting things underway on floor. We'll come back to that group in a little while and see how they are progressing, because we've really got to have a look at this young gentleman. So accomplished was his work on vault yesterday. It would not be a shock at all if he's right out in front after one rotation. Valentin Havrulchenko of Ukraine. I can tell you right now, none of us here anticipates that he's going to do a nice simple vault. He's bold as brass, this 18-year-old from Kyiv. World Schools champion on vault a couple of years ago, European Youth Olympic Festival bronze medalist last year, and now the junior champion of Europe. Here he goes.
He was the only gymnast who did a Dragulescu in the vault final. However, today he has gone for his simpler vault, something a bit more consistent for him perhaps. The 1.5 twisting Kasamatsu. Well done, but a slight under rotation, which necessitates that step backwards, and it's a pretty big step, so he'll have a deduction of several tenths of a point just for that alone.
It's lovely that 4.8 difficulty is his simpler vault as a junior gymnast. It tells you a lot about what he can produce. Now to the pommel horse champion from yesterday, Vladimir Golovan. He's a treat to watch on this apparatus. Only 15 as well.
There's a lot of difficulty in all of his work, but especially on pommel horse. Of everything that he presented in the qualification, this is the most sophisticated apparatus for him at the moment. Good one pommel work, and then through the handstand and back down into flares. The ubiquitous Busnari skill. One might imagine that he is feeling a bit fatigued as he goes through this routine, but apart from a few leg separations here and there, that is really good work from Golova.
Nicely done. Pommel horse gold, parallel bars silver, floor bronze yesterday. As you say, no surprise if he's fatigued. Great to see a 15-year-old who's able to do a Busnari into flares. With budding Ukrainian stars, in the past we have seen that their routines are really chock full of difficulty quite early in their careers. That's certainly the case with him.
Also representing Switzerland on steroids, Michael Buckner.
Now this is Jeremy Bolaj, the young gymnast from Hungary, who was actually born in Austria.
A very different style of vault from what we just saw from Havrulchenko, the round-off entry and a double twist. Big step on the landing, though.
I'll just tell you, by the way, that we had a 13.533 from Valentin Havrulchenko on vault. Now to Maxime Rollin of Belgium, the 17-year-old. It will be very nice to see what he can do on the parallel bars, because he won the Pharaohs Cup title in Egypt last year. It's a very exciting competition, the Pharaohs Cup, in a beautiful city. So this was his top scoring apparatus in the preliminary round.
Score was 13.900 for Golovin. Puts him in first place. Right now, next one representing Italy was Pietro Mazzola.
13.533, the confirmation of that score from Havrulchenko. Maxime Rollin of Belgium.
Representing Belgium, Maxime Rollin.
Lovely to watch him on this apparatus.
He settles in with a kip to press handstand. And here he goes with his swinging elements. To pelt Stutz. Both absolute classics on parallel bars. Very nice. Diamidov with quarter turn out to one rail. And another smooth press handstand. Well-paced routine this. Double front dismount, just a hop on the landing.
It's easy to see why he's had international success already on the parallel bars. Nice bit of gymnastics there from the young man who was the 23rd strongest in the qualification process. Looked in full control from start to finish.
Didn't seem phased at all by any of the difficulty in his routine, and he lands a very clean double front tuck.
This is a gymnast about whom there is much discussion. He's really exciting to watch. Tomasz Lekats of Poland.
This is going to be especially interesting because in the qualification round, he had a really good day. He was the third strongest when all was said and done. However, in the apparatus finals yesterday, he performed 3 times and he just had an off competition. He is already off to a better start, though, today than he was in the floor final yesterday. Yes, there was 1 foot out of bounds. That will be, I believe, a 1/10 of a point in penalty. If he'd put both feet out, it would be 3/10 of penalty. But he kept to his feet and thus avoided a much bigger deduction.
He's got a nice sense of style, hasn't he?
He really does. There are 2 Polish juniors who are coming through the system. Both of them competed at the Junior World Championships last autumn in Manila, and both really got everybody's attention. He's very stylish, just as you say. So far, so good for Tomasz Lekats.
Well, what a good beginning that was from the 17-year-old. Wishing him to really have the sort of day that he can today and to repeat the quality of work we saw in qualification, where, as you said, Brian, he was the 3rd best overall. And that ability to rebound after a tough start, that's an essential skill that all young athletes have got to have. Samuel Wachter of Austria over on vault. He was the silver medalist yesterday. This young man has won 18 junior national titles at the various age groups and in the various categories that are open to him. And he won silver on vault at the European Youth Olympic Festival last year. So we're looking forward to seeing how he develops.
He's got 2 that he can choose from. He's going for the round-off entry today. Really strong, powerful double twisting Yurchenko.
He made the top 10 at the Junior World Championships in the Philippines last year on this apparatus.
And it's really easy to see why. Even though his elbows are a little bent when he contacts the table, he's got such a good push off of the apparatus and a very clean, tight twist.
When he becomes a senior gymnast, the job for him will be to get out there to those World Challenge Cup competitions on a very regular basis and start getting into finals to develop the consistency of his vaulting. I'll be looking forward to that. The junior men's all-around final at Zagreb 2026, the European Championships of Artistic Gymnastics. 13.266. So Lekats is down just a little from qualification by about a quarter of a mark.
13.266.
Radmir Musayev was the 2nd best performer overall in qualification. Won gold on the rings, team silver and Pommelholz bronze in the days before this.
He's a very balanced gymnast over all 6 apparatus, and that is one of the reasons that he could be in contention for the podium today. His ambitious start is a full twisting double layout. It looked like he might have put 1 foot over the line. We'll have to wait and see. As a middle pass, that is extremely difficult, and he does it beautifully. The front layout with full twist, right to the double front tuck. And he ends with a full twisting double tuck, and it is stuck.
Well, that's an ambitious bit of work from Radmir Musayev, who scored a 13.066 in qualification. He was exactly 1 mark behind Daniil Smirnov.
It's quite extraordinary that those 2 are his final tumbling passes. There are many seniors who would not be able to handle that level of difficulty.
Samuel Vacter scores 13.5. So that's virtually the same as his qualification score. As we expected, the 2 young men from Ukraine are right up at the top of the leaderboard at the moment, courtesy of their vaulting performance. Now to the 6th best performer in qualification, Uzair Chowdhury of the United Kingdom of Great Britain and Northern Ireland. 13.333 on the pommel horse in the preliminary stage. British youth champion on this apparatus.
And really impressive here. He doesn't quite make it to the handstand on his scissor to handstand, not to the direct vertical, that is. That could be a slight deduction. And unfortunately, there from the beginning was just not a lot of momentum in his circles on the horse. And it's not so much that he made a mistake of hand placement as he just kind of ran out of gas on those.
And we may see that sort of thing happening today with these young athletes at the end of a very demanding championships, especially for him, who has played a big role in another team gold and won another parallel bars title yesterday.
He's done a lot of gymnastics here already. And just as you were mentioning earlier, it is quite unforgiving, this format. And for all of these young men, this is potentially just the beginning. This is how European Championships, World Championships go.
Yes, this is what it's going to be like over
Yes.
the course of their career, and they'll be up for the challenge. He's got some great potential, and he works very nicely on this apparatus. He's also one of the youngest, most experienced juniors out there. 16 to already have done a couple of junior European Championships is quite incredible. He's the closest thing you can get, really, to a grizzled veteran at junior level. 13.466. That's a really good improvement from qualification for Musayev. 4/10 up.
Gymnast, please rotate to your next apparatus.
We're at the end of the first rotation. I did tell you at the start it's going to come thick and fast here. We've got 6 rotations in all, but with 4 gymnasts in each group. There is not much time actually out there on the field of play before we move on to the next athlete. If you've spent a lot of time watching the more traditional 4x6 format, it will move very quickly, this. 12.1 for Chowdhury, which is regrettably a drop of about 1.25 marks from qualification. The intermediary standings after 1 rotation, Volodymyr Golovin is the leader with Valentin Havrochenko in 2nd place, Samuel Vacter in 3rd position. Very much as we expected, really. because Golovin starting on a favoured apparatus for him, likewise for Havrulchenko and likewise for Vakter, so too early really to get a sense of the lay of the land. What we do know is that Musayev is well up from qualification. Daniil Smirnov, the top qualifier, was about where he was in qualifying with a 13.366 score. And the other gymnast in that top group, Ben Schumacher, who's going to get things started on the pommel horse, he produced a 13.333 in qualification, which is 1/10 higher. So on the whole, a pretty assured start from the top group of qualifiers. So what's now going to happen is the second highest qualifiers will head to the rings, and what we may see there is a good bit of progress from Riccardo Ruggeri of Italy, because he's particularly strong on that apparatus. Over on vault, the third highest qualifiers. The parallel bars will be the home of the gymnasts who are in the fourth highest group of qualifiers. That includes Havrulchenko and Vakter. And those are the gymnasts that we have on the horizontal bar. Rotation number 2 about to begin. Welcome if you're just joining. Zagreb 2026 is the European Championships of Artistic Gymnastics. The men's competition's drawing to a close. We've got the junior all-around final in progress now, with the senior team competition getting underway at 2 o'clock local time here in Croatia. And we'll be with you at 10 minutes to the hour, so 1:50 local time in Zagreb, with all of the build-up. But we've got some way to go yet in this junior all-around competition. What I can tell you is that Vladimir Golovin of Ukraine has got off to a rip-roar of a start. Valentin Havrulchenko, his teammate, also starting strongly. But as is always the case in a men's all-around competition, we don't really have a full sense of the lay of the land until we get to the close of rotation number 4, for that is when the top qualifiers head to the vaulting table, and they've got some very compelling numbers they're able to produce on that apparatus, particularly Smirnov and Musayev. They certainly have done their job so far, the top 2 qualifiers, with a good start on floor. Great young gymnast here. Ben Schumacher, who will hopefully catch up with in due course.
Let's start the second rotation, representing Belgium on horizontal bar, Maxim Volo.
Here is Pietro Mazzola of Italy. Silver on floor and bronze with the team. And he scored 12.466 on the rings in qualification. He didn't have an easy start on the pommel horse, I'm afraid, with only a 10.866, so a drop of over a mark from qualifying.
And with this routine, we may see what tends to be the difference in the junior category. He is 18 years old, and so he may have a lot more strength in his work, some of the more complex strength and swing moves than we see from somebody like Volodymyr Golovin, who is just 15.
That's a really interesting observation, actually, Blythe, because we've got in this group now on the rings gymnasts like him and his teammate Riccardo Ruggeri, who are both 18, and then a 15-year-old in Golovin and a 16-year-old in Chowdhury.
Exactly. And actually, he doesn't have much of the big strength that he's no doubt developing in the gym. Just a simpler routine today for Pietro Mazzola. Good double twisting, double tuck dismount, however.
The bright Ben Schumacher from Aargau in the north of Switzerland, the reigning European Youth Olympic Festival champion on the pommel horse. Look forward to seeing if he can replicate what he did in qualification here in this final.
He's really caught people's attention with the cleanliness of his gymnastics. He's quite athletic, but of course, all 24 of these all-around contenders are athletic. He makes gymnastics look very clean, very smooth. His legs totally together, very extended. Good toe point as well. That's a nice routine.
I know what you mean, though, when you say that he is athletic, because there is a sense of ease to watching him perform, and it's one of the great cliches of sport, but there's a lot of truth in it, that true athleticism comes when things look as though they don't require any athleticism at all.
It's one of the great compliments you can pay an elite gymnast, is to say that they make really hard things look easy. He's got that.
Next competitor on parallel bars, representing Austria, Samuel Bacca.
Pietro Mazzola picks up a score of 12.233, so just a couple of tenths down from qualifying.
Representing Ireland, Robert Ward.
Now, this is the silver medalist on the rings yesterday, Riccardo Ruggeri of Italy. He's a very accomplished athlete on this apparatus.
That opening move called a kip. He does it to Elsit, and here is a very good planche. He drops down into an iron cross. Holds it for the requisite 2 seconds, which is what is necessary to get the difficulty credit. Good Jonassen. Quite careful as he picks his way up to the handstand. Strong giant. And now a giant into good kick on his double twisting double tuck.
He's a very experienced young gymnast. Made the top 20 at the Junior World Championships in the all-around competition last year. After his success at the European Youth Olympic Festival, where he won 2 silver medals, he had this lovely public ceremony in the Piazza di Fermo on the east coast of Italy in his honour. Imagine how special that must have been to the young man, to be in the town square and have the city acknowledging all that he's done. Christoph Gall of Hungary is over on the horizontal bar, and he won the silver medal on this apparatus at the International Budapest Junior Cup in April. Competed in the final yesterday here.
He is continuing a tradition of very fine Hungarian high bar workers. Opens up with a unique one-arm giant known as a Jolie Min. A little bit out of the handstand position on the Takemoto skill with the half turn. He'll get a deduction of a couple tenths for that. Good amplitude on his release skills, and Kachev connected directly to Ginger. It's a very good routine. Fine work from him.
Yes, he's a prospect, this young man from Budapest. And as you alluded to, Blythe, he's not lacking inspiration in terms of some of his international senior teammates on the apparatus.
No, indeed. And he's got that same daredevil quality that many of them are renowned for. We see that in the connected release skills, among other things.
12.633, the score for Ruggeri. That's pretty close to qualification. Again, just a small drop. Ruggeri scored 12.266 on the pommel horse before that, which was a little increase. Now to Uzair Chowdhury, European Youth Olympic Festival champion on the rings last year.
Backward roll to iron cross. He's someone who was detected quite young as a potential British national team member. We've really watched him come of age, so to speak, at the Junior European Championships. He's upped the difficulty of his programs compared to 2 years ago in Italy. Really good control displayed here.
Worked really hard to hold on to that right at the end. Nice composed finish from Chowdhury of Huntingdon Gymnastics Club in Cambridgeshire.
Beautiful giant swings right to a full twisting double layout, and he hangs on for the stick. We'll see if that gets the 0.1 bonus.
Christophe Gall, 12.966, so very close to his qualification score. He's about a third of a mark down. So the big second rotation test coming up for the top qualifiers as they go to the pommel horse. 13.166 for Schumacher is a drop from the 13.5 in qualifying, but still a decent score. Radmir Musayev, he was excellent on this apparatus in qualification, 13.733 in the pommel horse final.
And speaking of difficult programs for someone who is just 16 years old, that certainly applies to him as well. Very nice sewn style elements with the 3/4 turn as well as with the full turn. He moves with quickness. A lot of energy on pommel horse. And right up into the handstand. Beautiful pirouette and down. That's a great routine.
In the apparatus final yesterday, he won a joint silver medal with Zakane Fawzi of Great Britain, 13.833, so he improved upon his qualification display.
The score on the rings for user Chowdhury is still scoring.
The man from East London, who's been a Junior World Championship finalist. Great collection of national honours as well. .00 the score for user Chowdhury. 13 exactly for Chowdhury. That's well up from qualifying actually by a third of a mark, so nicely done. He's just having that difficulty that came from pommel horse at the start to really be high up the leaderboard. This is a young gymnast who made a great start on the pommel horse, Vladimir Golovan. 12.4 on the rings in the qualification phase.
And this was his second lowest scoring apparatus in that qualification. We might be in for a fairly simple routine here in the terms of the difficulty. He opens up with a straddle planche. Very competent pull to handstand. Lovely toe point, which tends to make the whole thing look better. Good swinging elements. The Yonason straight to a Yamawaki. Double fronts in the pike and tuck positions. Dismount on the way, double twisting, double tuck.
He really made the most of that exercise. As you say, it's not going to be his highest scoring apparatus, but that's fine at 15 to not have the rings as your highest scoring apparatus.
Call it a work in progress. With the juniors, often they don't tempt the big strength, and then when it comes to the backwards swinging elements, a few of them they're not actually allowed to perform to protect shoulders that are still developing.
13.733. Really consistent work on the pommel horse from Musayev across these championships. That's exciting.
On pommel horse, forward gymnastics to Daniel Smirnov.
Now Daniel Smirnov scored a 13.733 in qualification on the apparatus.
He opens with scissors with a half turn. There, that lovely Burton-Shea element. And there's the sewn. Nice extension and clearance above the horse on his one pommel work. When we speak about clearance, we're talking about the level of the hips over the horse. There's plenty of daylight between him and the apparatus. And that's very good. Calm circling as well, right into the dismount.
Certainly clear that the two highest qualifiers, Musayev and Smirnov, have passed the pommel horse test, and now they go on to rings in the next rotation.
Completes the second rotation in this all-around junior final. The score on handlebars for Manichenko, 12.266, and puts him in fourth place in the all-around right now. And let's wait for the score for
Volodymyr Golovin once in the rings.
The junior men's all-around final, and Volodymyr Golovin scores 12.566. So that's a nice bit of work from him. He's up by close to 2/10 from qualification, just maximising what he can with that exercise. He's up in third position, Golovin.
We've got the top score.
That has now changed because that 14 from Smirnov has put him clear at the top of the leaderboard, and he's going to really take some beating after that. We're already seeing the top two pull away. Smirnov and Musayev right at the top, not separated by much, but look at the gap between them and Ben Schumacher, who's in the bronze medal position. And we've got really three who are competing now very closely for third place. So are we already seeing this competition stretched after 1/3? More to come.
So guys, we are a little bit too fast in this competition, so you get 1 more minute relax time, 1 more minute. Just take a deep breath, you get 1 more minute left. There also has been an inquiry submitted on pommel horse for the score of Daniel Smirnov.
We are about to start rotation number 3. This is the junior men's all-around final at the European Championships of Artistic Gymnastics in Zagreb.
And now you can start warming up.
So at the vaulting table, we're going to have Vladimir Golovan, who is currently 4th in the standings. We don't anticipate a hugely high difficulty score from him necessarily, but he certainly made a decent start. Now on the parallel bars, we'll have Jaden Petten of the Netherlands, who really has looked good so far. He's added a huge amount to his score, about a mark or so up from where he was in qualification at this stage. Over on the horizontal bar, Valentin Havrulchenko, who's currently 6th in the standings. On floor, we'll kick things off with Christophe Gall. We're going to see Sami Yusuf Soliban as well. He's down in 16th place at the moment. On the pommel horse, Robert Ward will get things started. A young Irishman who's not looking too hard for inspiration on pommel horse when you consider his international teammates. And over on the rings, the top performers in qualification, with Smirnov and Musayev already out in front by close to 3/4 of a mark. No reason for them to have any concerns at the moment. They've started extremely well. We'll see how close to them Ben Schumacher can get, because his score in qualification was 12.133 on the rings. Smirnov 12.566, Musayev 13.033. It was Musayev who won the rings title yesterday. So Blythe, I think there's every expectation here that Smirnov and Musayev will extend their advantage.
If they do what they are able to do, yes, absolutely. We're seeing rings at this point, and this is typical with the juniors, be one of the lower scoring apparatus, and that's because they are still developing the difficulty that will only augment as they get a bit older. But for the purposes of this competition, yes, we are looking at probably scores in the mid-12s for almost all of the leaders. Radmir Musayev, of course, the exception to that rule based on what he has shown so far.
Yes, it was Musayev who scored 13.133 in the rings final yesterday, the only 13-plus mark that we've seen on the apparatus. It is a real accomplishment to produce that sort of a score at this stage of your career. Pietro Mazzola. He'll be over at the vaulting table, hoping to push up the standings a little bit. He's unfortunately down in 22nd place at the moment, having been the 8th strongest qualifier. Busy contribution to the team cause, and also a silver medalist on floor. Samuel Wachter of Austria, 7th at the moment. He'll be pleased with the start that he's made. He was 18th in qualification.
We start this third rotation on horizontal bar representing Austria, Samuel Wachter. Representing Italy, Riccardo Ruggeri on steroids.
So the top 5 after 1/3, Daniil Smirnov, Radmir Musayev, Ben Schumacher, Vladimir Golovan and Jaden Petten. Here he is, the 18-year-old from the Netherlands at his 2nd Junior European Championships. He talks about how much he learned from the Junior World Championships, where he made, in his view, 2 serious mistakes, was ruled out of finals. He said he'd look back on it all nonetheless with a smile, and he's proven that he can really develop, and he can act upon guidance from his coaches and guidance he's given himself. He's made a really good start here.
He's a very reflective young man. He participated in 2 apparatus finals yesterday, didn't win any medals, and afterwards wrote on social media, "I am going to learn from this as well. I still have more to give in the all-around final."
And he's right, because he's half a mark up on the rings after qualifying, and he's 3/10 up on at the vaulting table, and he might well be up on the parallel bars. This is lovely to see. Young, reflective athlete determined. He must be feeling a foot taller after winning 7 medals at the Dutch Junior Championships in June.
And good for him in this exercise. Very sharp gymnastics all the way through. Really assured.
And he's very good on the horizontal bar. He's very strong on floor. Pommel horse was a weak spot for him in qualification, and that unfortunately is where he's going to finish his final. But he's absolutely in medal contention. Samuel Wachter is now going to the horizontal bar in rotation number 3.
And even though he is still a junior, you could perhaps classify him with the very exciting new Austrian generation of young seniors and juniors that is coming up. Every several years you get a real change in generation where a team that comes to a European Championships or a World Championships is almost totally new. And that's the Austrians at this point. He shows great shoulder flexibility with his endo giants. And double twisting, double layup, dismount. Great.
Fabulous. What a hold that was.
He has been very impressive. And really, everything that he's done, whether it was a release move or that great double-double layout dismount, was very clean.
12.733. So well done to Jaden Giovanni Petton, because he has gained close to half a mark compared to qualification. He's just on a roll at the moment. Now, this is Radmir Musayev, and we expect a strong display on rings from him. He's very proficient on this apparatus. Won the gold medal in the apparatus final yesterday.
There's his planche. And then he uses the L-sit as a jumping off point for that press to handstand. The Jonassen. Straight into the handstand. Good giant. And now the dismount.
That's superb. What a day he's having. Radmir Musayev, very sophisticated set of performances so far.
He gets a lot of difficulty for the dismount.
This is his chance to pull ahead of Daniel Smirnov. They had half a mark separating them on the rings in qualification.
The score for user Chadori on hold. Next one, representing
Vladimir Golovan. Started with a 13.9 on the pommel horse, then a 12.566 on the rings. He's performing well so far. He was the 5th best in qualification. Now, how high can he get this score? It was a 13.166 in the preliminary round.
Very interesting. This is a full twisting Kasamatsu, and he does it well. Unfortunately for him, it doesn't have a really high start value, so his scoring potential on this is going to be limited. From an execution point of view, it is fine. He maybe could straighten his legs a bit more, and of course he'd like to ideally erase the step on the landing. But especially for his age and his level right now, it's good.
13.066, the reward for Samuel Wachter on the horizontal bar. That's pretty close to a half mark gain from qualification.
We've got the score on steroids for Radmir Musayev.
Radmir Musayev is looking every inch the part at the moment. And he produced a 14+ score on vault in qualification. Very good, 13.166. So he is right at the top of the leaderboard currently with over half a mark's grace. Now to Daniel Smirnov. Now, Smirnov is 12.632 behind Musayev, and he scored 12.566 in qualification. We said this is Musayev's chance to pull ahead of Smirnov.
We do not expect Smirnov to have an enormous amount of difficulty on still rings. He should have a pretty good dismount, but the interior of this exercise might be a bit basic. He does the swinging elements well, but a bit of a struggle as he pushes to the handstand. That will be a few tenths deduction. He's gotten it back together with the giant swing, taking a bit of extra time before the double twisting double tuck, and worth it. Look at that landing.
That's great composure, because he had real issues with the handstand. Sometimes that creates a compound problem, but the next handstand was smooth and the dismount just brushed it all to one side.
Exactly.
That's how you get onto an all-around podium, is dealing with a moment like that.
Completely, and he deals with it well. Unfortunately, though, the difficulty score is going to be fairly low.
13.266. Golovin is up by 1/10 from qualification, so he's done really close to as much as he could with that. Now Pietro Mazzola is vaulting. 13.333 in qualification.
And there is the same vault that we just saw from Volodymyr Golovin, performed in much the same way, actually. It's a competent piece of vaulting. The leg form a bit better than Golovin. The step to the side, quite similar. Let's see if he goes over the line. He does. He drifts off to the left, so there will be a 1/10 of a point penalty associated with that.
Strong performances from Radmir Musayev and Daniel Smirnov.
And the score for Stanley Sullivan, the Netherlands on the floor, is unchanged. So it remains 12.733.
Waiting for that score to come in for Smirnov. He's just done it. Well done to him. 12.7. He is back up in the lead. And the gap is 0.068 between the two of them. Well, they're pushing each other, and it's making for an enjoyable competition. Now, here is the young man who was leading the chasing pack coming into this rotation. Ben Schumacher, 12.133 in qualifying.
12.133 feels a bit low for a gymnast of his caliber. Perhaps there was a mistake in the early phases of the competition on this apparatus. He does show a nice Jonassen. It's a very simple routine. Oh, very simple indeed. The difficulty is going to be low. We've seen a lot of double twisting, double tucks. He does something fairly simple at this level, just the full twisting double somersault. and that explains the score that he got in qualification a bit more. Also some bending of the elbows, slightly on the press to handstand. Not his strongest piece.
Representing Austria, Jeremy Balázs.
Let's have a look at Jeremy Balázs, the Austrian gymnast. He was a bronze medalist on this apparatus at the European Youth Olympic Festival.
Just a bit out of handstand on the Takamoto element. Nice ginger, however. There's an in-bar stalder, followed by a classic stalder. Big swing into the dismount, double twisting, double layout, but a big step forward. And those big steps can be quite costly.
From Wiener Neustadt, Austria's Jeremy Balázs. He also won a bronze medal at the DTB Pokal competition in Germany that's very popular.
He's using these stoop-in elements, the pirouetting skills, named after the great Japanese champion Masao Takamoto.
Gymnast, please rotate to your next apparatus.
Ben Schumacher, 12.2. So it's a little better than qualification, but with a 3.3 difficulty score. Does get a good execution score though, so he's made as much of that as he can. This is where we find ourselves at the moment. The top 5, there's actually 6 of them in the top 5 because Wachter and Schumacher are tied. Petten is in 4th place, he's doing really well. Golovin in 3rd position, but look at the gap growing. Smirnov and Musayev very secure at the top of the table. I should say, by the way, that the two gymnasts from Britain, Uzair Chowdhury and George Atkins, have moved up the standings a little bit. Atkins is one that we will have to keep a close eye on because he started on rings, putting him maybe deceptively a little low. But he's very strong elsewhere. And Atkins is tied in 8th place with Riccardo Ruggeri. So we are now at the halfway stage of the competition. Well done to all of these gymnasts on giving us a great contest here in the Arena Zagreb. A great warm-up act for the team final for seniors, which is taking place later on. So on vault, we're going to have the top performers in qualification, and that includes the leaders so far, Smirnov and Musayev. Schumacher's also going to be on vault. A chance to see people like Uzair Chowdhury move back up the standings on the parallel bars, where he's the champion of Europe. George Atkins will be on the horizontal bar, and he scored close to 13 in qualification. Over on floor, we'll have Samuel Wachter, his teammate Jeremy Balázs, who's in the top 10. And the pommel horse. And that will feature the gymnasts who in the qualification process were the 5th highest of the 6 groups. Hope you're enjoying it all so far. Lovely to have you with us at Zagreb 2026. More to come in just a moment as we resume this junior men's all-around competition.
That's right. Thank you. Cosa possiamo rendere loro? Sì, grazie. Con tanta energia. Sì, grazie mille. Scusi, oltre a tante ore con i vostri gran calciatori d'Italia, hai fatto molto scusi, il calcio ha toccato solo di Cince. Poi in Italia, la sala dentro l'intero lo sport del breakfast. Oh, no, you guys know, yeah. Nice muscle throw. Good. Thank you very much.
The setting is the Arena Zagreb, and it's the junior all-around final at the Men's Artistic Gymnastics European Championships. Good opportunity for this young gymnast. He was the 6th best in qualification. It's been a little sense of a mixed bag so far for him in this final. Was over a mark down on pommel horse compared to qualifying, was close to half a mark up on rings, was a few tenths down on vault. But there's no doubt at all that he's capable of a significant score on the parallel bars. Although the qualification number for Uzair Chowdhury was 13.433. He got a 14.166 yesterday.
And anything close to a 14 would really help his cause here. He can do it, but the routine is going to have to be impeccable. Front Somi to start off. Very nice underswing giant. Really controlled. There's the Makut's right into a little pop half turn, dressing it up. His Tipelt, very steady. Setting up for a Bavsar. That one of the most complex elements in the routine. He gets half a point just from that. Dismount done from an uprise, double front. Oh!
Gosh, it was going beautifully. That Tipelt was just masterful.
It was all very nice. And it was just on the dismount. We talked about gymnasts running out of gas at the end of this long competition. Only he will know, but it could be that that's what that was.
Radmir Musayev now goes to vault, and he scored 14.133 in qualification. Just to remind you, a minute gap of a matter of a few hundreds between him and Daniel Smirnov.
He's got terrific power.
It's good work.
Oh, technically just excellent. For a gymnast of such stature to produce such a powerful piece of vaulting at this point in his development bodes really well for the future. The twist is quite beautiful in the air, and the landing, well, he's got everything that you need for a nice score.
12.966 for Uzair Chowdhury. So he was on course to be around the 14 mark. Had he not had that sit down. We're now with Vladimir Golovin, who was looking in very good order coming into this. Parallel bars for him. Very accomplished on the apparatus, won the silver medal yesterday.
For the Ukrainians as a whole, parallel bars is arguably, historically, their strongest apparatus. Gorgeous little hopful done from an uprise. And then the giant Diamidov going under the bar. Oh, just beautiful work. The variation on the Makoots, and there's the actual Makoots. This is pretty as a picture. Good Bavsar swing element. He's got great control in the handstands, and he can swing as well. How about the dismount? Uprise double front.
I think it's really clear that he's going places. Vladimir Golovin, he was 17th at the Junior World Championships last year in the all-around competition. He looks like he's enormously improved in a short space of time.
This was just terrific all the way through. He demonstrated such variety and elements that we don't see very much. The really detailed pirouette, and he caps it all off with a stuck double front. Yeah, I'd be pumping my fist too.
Great to see him enjoying the experience. 14.1 for Musayev. At the moment, it's very difficult to see anyone outside of Musayev and Smirnov winning this thing. They've looked extremely accomplished. Here is Daniel Smirnov. 13.966 in qualification. So if all goes as it did in the preliminary round, it's going to be very tight again between them with 2 rotations to go.
He's very good on this apparatus. Just the step forward. Again, in the air, it's really nicely performed. And when we talk about good form on the twisting, we want to see straight legs, pointed toes, extended knees. We don't want to see any splitting of the legs, and we don't get that from him. Just the step forward. Pristine, really.
Now, George Atkins has appeared on the radar after a quiet start, as you would expect on the rings, but he's moved really into our attention after a good vault and a nice turn on the parallel bars, where he won bronze yesterday. Now he's on the horizontal bar, where he scored almost 13 in qualification.
He opens with a Takamoto half, winding up for something a lot bigger, a very tidy Coleman. Full twisting double tuck over the bar. Really well swung Kachev. The jam through to the endo skill. Forward Stalder. This has been very clean. What about the dismount? Nicely done.
How glorious it is to see the return of George Atkins to international competition. This young man has been through so much. When you're a young gymnast and you miss a couple of years due to injury, you must have moments where you think, is this even still for me? Can I ever imagine a point in my life when I'm back out there doing something like this? He's shown extraordinary mental strength, not just physical toughness to come back from injury. 14 and a half. That's not too bad, is it? In a junior competition. Dear, oh dear, from Vladimir Golovin. That actually has really put him up there. 14.066 for Smirnov, who's just in the lead.
14.066 the score on gold for Daniel Smirnov.
Ben Schumacher
Next one,
is now going to vault. 13.5 was his qualification score.
in the juniors final, representing Switzerland, Ben Schumacher.
This is an excellent apparatus for him. He does one of the cleanest and prettiest double twisting Yurchenkos in the entire competition. The judging starts from the instant the gymnast hits the springboard, and his laid out body position, his extension in his legs, the toe point, everything about the twist is near to the ideal. There's just that small hop forward.
I'm just reflecting on that 14.5 score of Vladimir Golovan. I'm looking at the senior parallel bars scores.
Yes, indeed. And that 14.5 is just 0.2
Yes.
behind what Ilya Kovtun had to win the senior men's title.
It's quite amazing. George Atkins, 13.566.
5.66. Good score.
He's well up from qualification.
Here we go. Next to floor exercise.
Samuel Wachter now goes to floor.
The score for Jeremy Balash. Next one also representing Austria, Samuel Wachter.
13.1 was his qualification score.
Okay, well, that very difficult front layout full to double front first tumbling pass. There's a big step on it, and he does go over the line with 1 foot. So he'll have a penalty of 1/10 and a few tenths of a point for the step. But the double layout second pass was very well performed.
Score on parallel bars, 11.100 for Pietro Mazzola. Representing Italy, Riccardo Ruggeri.
We saw him vault quite proficiently earlier, and it's no surprise to see that he tumbles well also. Often the two pair quite nicely together. A gymnast who can vault is also pretty good on floor exercise usually. Good double pike to close.
Samuel Wachter from Bregenz in the west of Austria, on the shores of the beautiful Lake Constance. And he's been a constant presence in this all-around competition, hasn't he?
Oh, yes. One of the reasons that his finishing skills, the double saltos, are so nice is that his round-off back handspring is exceptionally good technically. It gets him into the air.
Into fourth place goes Ben Schumacher, 13.433. The peloton leader has changed. It's Vladimir Golovan, and he's actually right up there. More on that in just a moment. Here is Tomi Lekhatz of Poland. We saw him on floor where he scored a 13.266.
We've got the score.
Then scored 12 on the pommel horse and 11.7 on the ring. So he's been a bit of a drop from qualification, unfortunately. I think consistency in big competitions is going to be the clear target for him.
Yes, exactly. And this is a nice full twisting Kasamatsu. It does contain the step to the side and over the line, so he's going to get a penalty of 1/10 of a point, drifting over a bit to the right in the air on that. And it's got only a 4.4 start value, I believe. So it's not going to get a tremendous score.
Hasn't he been fun to watch? Jaden Giovanni Petten of the Netherlands. He's improved on every single piece so far. This is where we could really see him become a serious contender for the podium.
Really beautiful Pike Jaeger. Opens his routine, kind of a surprise at the top. Takamoto half. There will be a little deduction for that because I think he was not within 15 degrees of handstand. But the Stalder and Takachev, very strong. He's something of an entertainer on horizontal bar. There's the Pike Jaeger at the beginning, the Czech Giant, which always impresses everyone.
Good work, well performed at his second Junior European Championships, 13th in qualifying.
And you mentioned his improvement today compared to the other day in apparatus finals and the opening rounds of the competition. And that bodes very well for him as a gymnast. It says something that he can learn the lessons of a major competition like this and come back out stronger on another day.
We all in life talk a good game about learning and reflecting, and actually doing it is much harder. And he is clearly able to do that.
So true.
13.166, just a few hundreds up from qualification. Samuel Wachter, he's in 6th place at the moment. It's a very interesting lay of the land, actually. It's great entertainment, this competition. And it's a 13 and a third for Lechatz. So he finds himself in 13th place.
We have the score on horizontal of 13.166 for Jane Patton. Second best.
13.166 for the young gymnast from the Netherlands. Virtually the same as qualification.
Gymnast, please rotate to the next apparatus.
Two rotations to go, and this young lad is right up there all of a sudden. And he's actually challenged his score. Not high enough for him, that 14.5. He wants more difficulty. Good for him. If he thinks he's right, he must make his case.
So far, it is clearly the routine of the day, that one.
Well, as things currently stand, putting that inquiry to one side, Smirnov leads, Musayev second, Golovan is third, and it is close. The gap between the top three is 0.267. So Vladimir Golovan has suddenly emerged to make this a three-way race. So having rather brazenly said in the previous round, previous rotation, that it was hard to see anyone other than Smirnov or Musayev winning this, Vladimir Golovan has just said to me, excuse me? And now, with that massive improvement, and you know what, it looks as though his score has actually gone up. It has. Vladimir Golovan's score has increased. I'm going to come back to that in just a moment and what that means. There he is, over on the horizontal bar. He's going to get things started. This is going to be huge for him because he scored only 11.4 in qualification. But he is the reigning World Schools champion on the horizontal bar and in the all-around competition. So there could be more to come in this intriguing narrative. What is so interesting is that the top performers, as things stand, Smirnov and Musayev, they go to the parallel bars, which were not incident-free for them in the qualification process.
For Radmir Musayev, he has two of his weakest apparatus based on the scores that he got in qualification, coming up with parallel bars and horizontal bar. Smirnov was very consistent.
0.2 points, so close. Fight for the podium. There are two more events to come.
Two rotations remain. You are watching the junior all-around competition. team final to take place later on. All gets underway at 2 o'clock. Over on floor, we've got the gymnasts who were in the third highest group of qualifiers, people like Jorge Carreras, for example, getting warmed up. On the pommel horse, we're looking at Axel Andras Akinduro, who won the gold medal on the pommel horse at the International Junior Team Cup in Berlin. There's Uzair Chowdhury of Great Britain warming up on the horizontal bar. He's currently 8th in the standings. So let's go through that top 5 with 2 rotations to go. It is Daniil Smirnov, Radmir Musayev, Vladimir Golovan, and his score has gone up, a 5.9 difficulty score, a 14.6. So the gap now between the top 3 is 0.034 from gold to silver, and the total gap between the top 3 is 0.167. Game on now. Ben Schumacher leads the peloton, but that peloton is dropping because there's a gap of over 2.25 marks between first place and 4th place.
Representing Great Britain, George Atkins. Ukraine, Valentina Pichenko. Representing Israel, Tirosh. Gold. Representing Louis Tuesday.
Well, it's very interesting that we start with Vladimir Golovan on the horizontal bar, because this was his weakest scoring apparatus in qualification, 11.4. So far, he has equalled his best performance, that's the pommel horse, and improved on everything else.
He's got 2 big release skills to get through in this exercise. Takemoto full, nicely done. And the top half complete as well. Stalder and Kachev, okay. And now the tucked Kovac, well caught.
Gosh, he's up for this. He's really up for this.
Wow.
Good lad, Vladimir Golovan. He's emerged as the biggest contender to what looked like 2 runaway leaders. How well did he do there?
This was very good for him on horizontal bar. The Jolie Min, the one-arm giant, the intricate pirouetting skills, the Takemotos. And then I believe that that is a triple twisting double layout. A full twist more than anyone else that we have seen on horizontal bar. So he has upped the difficulty, potentially. And we could see a much better score than the 11.4. But we will see. There were a few execution things. Some of his leg form was not quite what it was, but it was a made routine.
Daniil Smirnov on the parallel bars. 13.2 in qualification.
The important thing on parallel bars, to hit your handstands and to not walk. Good underswing, straight to handstand, and the Makut's element that all of a sudden we are seeing all of the time. He does have a particularly beautiful handstand position. Diamidov, Stutz. This has been excellent.
That's his job done well. Daniil Smirnov handled any pressure he might have felt. He's still very much right up there.
The routine of quite a cool customer here. He doesn't seem to be feeling any pressure. He's just going out and doing his gymnastics and doing it very well.
3.066. Next one, representing Ireland, Robert Ward.
Looking to complete the full set of colours at these championships with the team silver, the horizontal bar bronze. How nice it would feel for him to get the all-around gold medal, but he's got two very serious challengers for that. I think it's certainly clear that Vladimir Golovan is not going to be scoring 11.4. Oh, hello! He's got 13.266. Okay, that's very slightly better than qualification by about 1.9 marks. My word. Golovan has just moved into potentially a leading position. Jeremy Balázs of Austria. On the pommel horse, he scored 12.3 in qualification.
He began strongly with scissors and now into a very nice flare sequence. Moving his body down the horse while maintaining the flares. A simpler dismount, but a very strong routine. And in that flare sequence, you see a bit of senior level gymnastics. Nice stuff.
Now this is interesting because Daniil Smirnov is about half a mark ahead of Vladimir Golovan. He'll go to horizontal bar next, where he scored 13.166, and Golovan will go to floor, where he scored 13.833. So we've got a real finish on our hands. This is Ben Schumacher on the parallel bars. He scored 12.733 in qualification. He's the gymnast who was leading the chasing group, but trailing by close to 2 1/3 marks.
The score for of 12.666.
Tidy Diamidov.
His vault.
And then a variation of the same skill with an extra quarter turn on to one rail. Good control. Stutz. Now he goes under the bars with a giant, and that's what's known as a Moy, named after the French gymnast Willy Moy. The skill pioneered by the great Sven Tippelt, and a double pike dismount, a bit compressed on the landing, but just a small hop emitted.
He's been having a wonderful year, Ben Schumacher, winning all of the Swiss junior titles.
Next one, representing Italy on horizontal, Riccardo Ruggeri.
Jaden Petten of the Netherlands has made a very good case for himself, and he is a strong performer on floor. 13.533 in qualification.
And that is just about the best that we have seen anyone do that first pass. The front layout full to double front, and he goes forward again with a double front in the pike position. Double pike side pass.
The score on parallel bars for Ben Schumacher. Next one, representing Poland.
The press to handstand, a requirement in every floor routine. it's good to see him paying attention to the small details in the transitions. Front layout to front double full. And a clean, solid double twist dismount.
What a great day from this young man from the South Holland province in the west of the Netherlands.
Another routine that he should be really pleased with.
Well, you've highlighted right from the start the comments he's made on social media about reflectivity, and they tied in with what I experienced when I was researching him ahead of the Junior World Championships. He talks the talk, but he walks the walk as well.
And after all these days of competition, some have gotten tired. He's gotten better.
11.9 was the score for Bolage. Ben Schumacher, 13.2. Well done to him. That's half a mark better than the preliminary stage. So at the moment, he's in third position. It's Smirnov, Golovan and Schumacher, but here comes what is going to be, well, we'll return to that. This is Samuel Wachter of Austria.
Strong circle work. A traveling Magyar down the horse and Shavato backwards in the same direction. And pushes through the dismount. Quite a simple routine on this apparatus for Samuel Wachter, but performed without a major error.
Scored a 12.1 in qualification. He's another who's had a really strong day, considering he was 18th in the qualification phase. Uzair Chowdhury scored 11.1 on the horizontal bar in qualification.
He swings with power. Building up for his big release. It's a Casina, but unfortunately for Uzair Chowdhury, it's not his day. Real difficulties, and looks like he really kind of got his bell rung when he hit the mat there.
Yeah, that was a heavy looking landing, wasn't it?
It really was. The Casina can be unforgiving. After a fall, the gymnast has 30 seconds to remount the bar, or they will incur further deduction. That 30 seconds actually starts when they get up. Jam through to the very difficult endo skill. The grip quite unusual. And an in-bar Stalder, and once more isn't able to go over the top. So he's not likely to get the difficulty credit for that. Good full twisting double layout dismount, but some real errors in this exercise. Unfortunate.
Sometimes you do just have one of those tricky days on the apparatus, and that was exactly that for Chowdhury. 13.066 for Jaden Giovanni Petton. So it is a drop of about half a mark from qualifying, but he's currently in fourth position. This is going to be a big moment in this all-around competition. Radmir Musayev scored 12.166 in qualification.
Forward gymnastics to Radmir Musayev.
He trails the lead by 13.634.
Clear hip. Just a little check heading into the handstand. The giant is very good. The Tepelt is fine. Just a little struggle back up to handstand in the Makuts, but he is able to add the Healy turn out. And double front half twist dismount. No stick bonus, but a competent showing by Musayev. Certainly it's not his best apparatus.
Yes, he gets through it with less of a feeling of fluidity and control compared to the other pieces that we've seen from him so far, but it is the job done pretty well on the weakest of the pieces. Just wonder if he might find that he fades a bit now behind Golovan, but we'll see.
Yes, we don't anticipate a score anything like what we saw from Golovan.
One rotation to go. So he and Smirnov will finish on the horizontal bar. Golovan will finish on floor. Maybe a more favourable conclusion for the Ukrainian. Yes, there we go. The change has happened, but he has gained 7/10 compared to qualification, 12.866. So now it's Smirnov ahead of Golovan with Musayev in third position. And it really does seem like it's three of them that are going for the podium. It's just what order it's going to be. Vakter, 11.6. He's position 9th. With one rotation to go, Daniel Smirnov has half a mark over Volodymyr Golovan of Ukraine. Radmir Musayev is third. He's dropped down one position. Ben Schumacher leads the chasing pack, but the top three are starting to really pull out of sight. 2 marks separating fourth from third. So then, which way is it going to go? What a performance from Volodymyr Golovan. Blythe, he has been majestic to watch.
He has done fantastically today, improving where he has needed to improve, particularly on horizontal bar. And now he goes to one of his strongest apparatus. And as you pointed out so aptly earlier, Ollie, Daniel Smirnov on the horizontal bar, 13.166. Volodymyr Golovan on floor exercise in qualification, 13.833. And Golovan about 0.5 of a point behind the leader at the moment. So it is not impossible for Golovan, but Smirnov does have the lead.
And I'm going to throw in another complication to this, which is that Golovan scored about 3/4 of a mark lower than his qualification performance in yesterday's floor final. He did win the bronze though.
I see your point and raise you the fact that Golovan is going to floor exercise after having done 5 very complex routines. On floor exercise, like everywhere else, there's no room for error, but we might see a slightly more fatigued gymnast take to this apparatus than the one that showed up and won a medal in the apparatus final yesterday.
Well, well, well. Questions, questions, questions. Let's have some answers in just a moment, shall we? Good luck to all of these gymnasts on a positive conclusion to their all-around campaign. It's been great to see the next generation coming through. And it's been great to have you with us on Gym TV Online, watching the European Gymnastics Championships in Zagreb. Thank you for your time and your companionship. Lovely to have you with us. One final order of business to come today, and it is the men's team competition. It takes place at 2 o'clock local time here in Croatia, in their beautiful capital city of Zagreb. And we'll have all of the build-up starting 10 minutes beforehand at 13:50 local time. Hope you'll be able to join us for it.
Dosta veliki izazov, da vas možemo malo aktivirati. Gdje su srčeka? Mlade dame, vas gledamo, vas čekamo. Da. Hop, evo, to je spreman. Cuke. Nedjelja, dopodne, najteži dio tjedna. Hop, cuke, ništa. Spavaj, spavaj, vibriraj. Evo ga, to je to, za kraj. Hvala vam.
Warm-up is over.
The last rotation.
To this last rotation, who is going to be all-around European Junior champion?
Time to settle the podium once and for all. It's Ben Schumacher of Switzerland who's going to start. Can he get onto the podium? He finishes on a strong apparatus for him, 13.5 in qualification. Had a difficult time there in the apparatus final, really clumped down on his arm.
That's a very good Takamoto half, right to Ginger. So he's off to a good start here. Look at the way he is near handstand on these jam-through elements. Tidy hop full. Just the dismount now. Double twisting, double layout. Very nice.
Well done from start to finish, Ben Schumacher. Some lovely work performed in this all-around competition. He was the 4th best qualifier, and he's got a very good chance of matching that.
Here's the Takamoto half, which he does right into a Ginger. He's got very smooth swing in all of his transitions and a good double twisting, double layout. That's a wonderful way for him to finish his day.
Representing Hungary, Krzysztof Gál.
Samuel Vactor is getting set to perform. The young Austrian has performed very nicely. He's certainly hoping for a positive conclusion.
13.566 is the top score right now.
He's actually going to ring Samuel Vactor.
Next one. Representing Poland.
Scored 11.6 on the pommel horse in the previous rotation. Jaden Petton now performing on the pommel horse at 12.033 in qualification. He's looked really good today, really good.
This one pommel work, very important to his difficulty score. He's through it well. And now into the flares, traveling sideways across the horse. It's just a little dip in his hips as he comes through each circle. And ouch.
Gosh. Oh, he really did thump the knee on the apparatus.
Yes, he just lost his energy level throughout the second half of that performance. It had nothing left when it came to swing up to the handstand. And so that's not going to count as a dismount. He's actually going to have to take that as a fall and then get back up and do the dismount in order to fulfill the requirement. That's more like it.
A tough conclusion, but a very positive day for him. So much to be really proud of. Can't wait to see how he progresses as a gymnast.
He's really exciting to watch. And when we talk about clearance above the horse, once again, it's the position of the hips. His hips, for the majority of the routine, are high enough, but they do dip down as things unfold.
Now a chance to look at Riccardo Ruggeri on floor. He won the European title yesterday, and he scored 13.6 in qualification. He's so skilled on this apparatus.
He has some of the most powerful tumbling amongst the juniors. Double layout, full out is what he chooses to open with. And there's the front layout, full to double front. There's a lot of difficulty baked into that pass. The two skills combined together, both highly valued. Front 2.5 twist, done as a side pass. Two and a half twist to a very clean front layout. No movement of the feet. His coaches and teammates cheering him through this last pass. Arabian double front, half out.
Riccardo Ruggeri completing his all-around competition at the Junior European Championships.
It's a very big, exciting routine. This is his second pass. A very difficult front layout, full to double front, and just a step forward on the landing.
10.866 for Jaden Petton on the pommel horse, puts him in second place. Ben Schumacher is leading the way at the moment. Now Samuel Wachter, 11.833 in qualification.
Representing Germany, David Alshanov.
Good, clean swinging series. Straight back to handstand for Wachter. And then giant into full twisting double layout and a stuck landing. What a nice way for him to close.
That's got to feel fantastic, hasn't it, if you are Samuel Wachter. Last performance of the championships, and it's a stuck landing. Good lad.
He may well have grown up watching the Austrian Vincenz Hook, who was phenomenal on rings for the nation, including, I believe, winning a junior European title that back in 2014, if I'm not mistaken.
I think that sounds about right, yes. Went on to be a senior medalist at the championships as well.
And a superstar on that apparatus.
Ricardo Ruggeri, 13.566 on floor. Very comparable to his qualification effort. Ben Schumacher, well done to him. That's the score that took him into the lead, 13.566.
Next competitor on horizontal bar for World Gymnastics to Radmir Musayev.
Now Radmir Musayev just dropping a little from second to third coming into this final performance. He's on the horizontal bar, 12.866 in qualification.
There's some pressure on him here. The warm-up looked good, Stalder and Kacha, but a very crunchy giant out. There will be significant execution deductions implicated in that. He will, however, get the difficulty for the release skill. A bit of a struggle coming out of the Czech giant as well, though he does make it into the Stalder. Dismount should be double twisting, double layout. It is, but in the interior of this exercise, a couple of really significant mistakes.
We did mention that he was going to conclude with his two weaker apparatus at this stage of his young career. Well, he increased his mark on the parallel bars. I wonder how this score will look.
Clearly, the rest of his program is incredibly sophisticated. On high bar, he's still got a bit of a ways to go, but he is so young.
Samuel Wachter, 12.333, currently in 5th position. Now, someone who has really emerged right towards the latter stage of this competition is the Spaniard Jorge Carreras. He was 6th with one performance to go. The Spanish all-around junior champion. And he's very good on the pommel horse because he scored 13.433 in qualification.
If I'm not mistaken, that is the Mikulik mount that a lot of the seniors are using. Deceptively difficult. Very nice flare work showing the Magyar, where the gymnast really twists at the hips and the legs and the upper body go in different directions. This has been very good.
Yes, he's very much a prospect for the Spanish team. They've just acquired a senior pommel horse specialist in Ignacio Yocas. And they've got a young one coming through in Carreras.
It always helps for a team to have a gymnast or two who is terrific on this apparatus.
Now, Volodymyr Golovan, he's doing fantastically in this competition. Half a mark behind Daniel Smirnov, coming to his final performance. If he gets what he did in qualification, he's going to be very, very competitive. He could even win the whole thing.
To challenge for this title, while he can do it, he is going to need to do near his ideal exercise. He starts well with the double layout. 2.5 twist to double front. That was stunning. And a triple twist side pass. He's got the difficulty here, and he's landing things well. Front layout to front 2.5. The feet just are not moving. And that's a good thing. And he's one of the few who late in the routine does a flare sequence up through the handstand and back down.
Volodymyr Golovan takes a breath, takes flight, and he's somehow just about held on at the end. The last tumbling pass was problematic, Everything else before it was fantastic. He is going to get a pretty sizable deduction right at the conclusion, but my goodness me, he could still win this whole thing.
Aside from the final pass, it was the routine that he set out to do. Yes, he gets small execution deductions for some of these landings. This is the bigger problem. Amazing that he doesn't emit a bigger deduction, but he will have the 1/10 of a point penalty for putting 1 foot out of bounds. That could be very significant. Also, a few tenths for the jump back on the landing.
Oh, that's going to be a dramatic conclusion.
We shall see.
13.366 for Otger Carreras. He's in 4th position at the moment. Well, we are well set up for a thriller of a conclusion.
First place right now, but there's one more guy to come on our horizontal bar for World Gymnastics 2.
I can tell you now that Golovan has scored 13.466, so that means that this gymnast needs 12.965 to win the gold, and he scored 13.166 in qualification.
And that is well within his grasp, just like his opening Kovac and Kachev elements. A little out of handstand on the Takamoto full, but that's a deduction of just a couple tenths of a point, if that. He has a lovely sense of swing. What about the dismount?
Now we wait. Daniel Smirnov completing his final. Vladimir Golovan leading the Ukrainian on an 81.064. This is going to be close.
It's a really nice exercise. The best part of it is that tucked Kovac. The way that he executes the double back with the knees totally locked together in great height. Beautiful double twisting, double layout dismount as well. For that step, he'll lose probably just 1/10 of a point.
Yes, he's going to have a decent execution score, but he's done fantastically no matter what. 13.466, we confirm Golovan going into the gold medal position. And now we're waiting for this score to come in for Daniel Smirnov. If he gets what he produced in qualifying, 13.166, he will win the gold medal. Oh my goodness me! He's won it with 12.966, and that is by 1/1000th of a mark. So we've had the senior and junior all-around titles at these men's championships decided by 1/1000th.
Absolutely extraordinary.
I said at the time that we'd never seen the like of it, and it's now happened in both the junior and senior men's all-around competitions. Smirnov wins it by 0.001. That is absolutely incredible.
What a finish in the all-around final. To remember 6 events.
The classified results in the junior all-around competition. Bronze to Radmir Musayev, silver to Vladimir Golovan, and the gold medal to Daniel Smirnov by 1/1000th of a mark, exactly the same as the margin we saw in the senior all-around competition. Well, it turns out lightning does strike twice in the same place. How's that for entertainment in the Arena Zagreb? And we are going to bring you the medal ceremony in just a moment.
Fun fact, the final scores and results of the all-around finals, both for seniors and juniors, have the difference of 0.001 points. Reći ću na hrvatskom, nevjerojatno je, ali je činjenica da je finale više boja seniora i juniora završilo s razlikom između prvoga i drugoga od 0,001 bod. Europsko prvenstvo u sportskoj gimnastici Zagreb 2026. Svečano proglašenje pobjednika u višeboju za juniore.
Men's Artistic Gymnastics European Championships Zagreb 2026. Medal ceremony junior all around.
Molim vas pozdravimo osvajače medalja.
Please welcome the medalists.
It's now time for the medal ceremony in the junior men's all-around competition at the European Championships of Artistic Gymnastics, taking place in Zagreb, Croatia. What an amazing competition, and what a dramatic finish. 0.001 separating the top two.
In third place, winner of the bronze medal for World Gymnastics 2, Radmir Musayev.
Radmir Musayev wins the bronze medal.
In second place, winner of the silver medal, representing Ukraine, Volodymyr Golovin.
What a championships this great young gymnast has had. He was so close to winning the whole thing. You'll hear a lot more of Volodymyr Golovin in the future, that is clear.
Na prvom mjestu osvajač zlatne medalje, juniorski europski prvak 2026. u višeboju, predstavnik skupine 2 Svjetskog gimnastičkog saveza.
In first place, winner of the gold medal and junior European champion 2026 for World Gymnastics 2, Daniil Smirnov.
Daniil Smirnov is the champion. He wins it by 1/1000th of a mark.
Medalje će uručiti
The medals will be presented by
Farid Gaibov, European Gymnastics President, Ilan Gazit, member of the Men's Technical Committee of European Gymnastics, and Vladimir Majarevic, President of the Technical Committee and head coach of the Croatian men's national team. Slijedi himna Svjetskog gimnastičkog saveza.
Please stand if you're able for the anthem of World Gymnastics.
The medalists in the all-around competition.
It's your applause, guys.
It's been a great pleasure having you company for all of the action in this junior men's all-around final in Zagreb. Thank you so